Today we're talking AMD in 2025, a company riding the AI wave, wrestling with trade politics, and getting cheers from parts of Wall Street while others scratch their heads. The government's hand, pull manufacturing home, and why it matters. The US has been pushing domestic semiconductor production for several years now. Money, incentives, and policy nudges designed to reduce dependence on overseas fabs and fragile supply chains. The CHIPS playbook isn't a rumor, it's a formally funded program created to seed fabs, supply chains, and R&D so the country can make more of the chips it needs on US soil. That push changed the calculus for chip makers: build local capacity, get subsidies, and show customers and regulators you're a partner to national resilience. For businesses like AMD, this environment matters because end customers and governments increasingly factor where chips come from into large procurement decisions. Picture it like a backyard barbecue where the host suddenly insists food must be cooked in their kitchen, not someone else's. The short run is messy, new grills, relocated chefs, but long-term you might get more predictable burgers. Similarly, building fabs and local supply reduces the "what if the next storm shuts down a Taiwanese foundry?" panic. Tailwinds and headwinds, AI's demand versus trade politics. Two forces are pulling semiconductor stocks in opposite directions. Tailwind, the AI boom. Hyperscalers, cloud providers, and enterprises need inference-optimized chips to run the flood of models serving search, chat, and image generation. That demand is real and persistent. Inference is the day-to-day fuel for many AI services. Headwind, trade frictions, export controls, and tariffs. When governments start imposing restrictions or incentives linked to onshore production, the order book can wobble while customers and suppliers renegotiate where stuff will be built and who can buy it. This seesaw makes forecasting tricky. Good news can suddenly collide with policy friction. Think of it as a soccer game where the referee keeps stopping play to consult 3 rulebooks. The game still matters, but the stops are annoying, and sometimes expensive. The 2025 run, AMD plus 34%, and why the market cheered. Despite the headwinds, AMD's stock has enjoyed a strong run in 2025, roughly a 1/3 gain year-to-date as investors priced optimism around new AI products and data center momentum. That rally reflects the market's appetite for companies that can credibly supply inference workloads. And AMD's product roadmap suddenly looks like a hand of good cards. But remember, price moves are partly sentiment and partly earnings. Both matter. Metaphor time. It's like a mid-tier indie band that suddenly got a Spotify playlist boost. Streams explode, the venue gets upgraded, and some critics call it destiny, while others warn that next month's single will decide whether it sticks. By the way, if you are benefiting from the content so far and want more like this, like the video, it means much to me. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell, and comment the word more. Just go ahead and type the word more so I know. Now that you have commented, let's continue. Training versus inference. NVIDIA's crown and AMD's target. NVIDIA has been the undisputed leader on the training side. Massive GPUs and an entrenched software ecosystem powering the huge, expensive jobs that teach large models. AMD's strategy is different. Aim where the day-to-day money gets made. Inference, the process of serving models after they're trained, is where scale, efficiency, and cost per token matter. In many deployments, customers care more about throughput and total cost to serve requests than raw peak training flops. That's AMD's target: be the best value for inference option. If NVIDIA is the marathon champion, AMD is training to be the dependable taxi driver who carries the crowd home every night. Maybe not as glamorous, but paid every day. The MI355 and the M-Series, AMD's inference weapons. Meet the MI355 and friends, engineered for inference and getting noticed. AMD's Instinct family has been evolving fast. The MI350/MI355 line, and subsequent M-class references in AMD's rack and Helios strategy, were showcased as inference-focused accelerators designed to deliver strong tokens per dollar and energy efficiency for production workloads. During AMD's AI events and industry coverage, company presentations emphasized throughput and cost benefits for inference, and various technical previews highlighted substantial generational gains. That's the engineering story underpinning investor interest. If MI355 and related modules can deliver real tokens per dollar improvements in customers' environments, they translate to orders. Imagine a tiny espresso machine, MI355, that grinds more beans per minute than your old one. Your cafe buys 10 of them and suddenly your morning line moves twice as fast for less electricity. That's tokens per dollar. Helios, M1400 and rack scale thinking. Beyond chips, AMD wants to sell whole racks, not just shiny cards. AMD isn't merely peddling raw GPUs. The company is increasingly talking about rack-scale solutions, like Helios, an ecosystem that bundles Instinct GPUs, EPYC CPUs, networking, Bensundo NICs and some references, and software. Within that stack, the M1400/M-class GPUs have been mentioned as part of the Helios mix, a signal that AMD wants to sell integrated systems to cloud builders and enterprises, not just individual accelerators. Selling racks simplifies procurement for big customers and can lock in longer-term business if performance and total cost of ownership, TCO, prove compelling. Think of it as offering the entire kitchen instead of a single chef's knife. If the kitchen runs smoothly, the restaurant orders more kitchens. EPYC's role, the CPU anchor in AMD's server pitch. Servers need brains and brawn. EPYC is the ever-present brain. While GPUs do the heavy AI lifting, servers still need CPUs for orchestration, I/O, and control tasks. AMD's EPYC processors have gained traction in enterprise and cloud server rooms over the last few years, and demand for EPYC remains an important pillar in AMD's data center story. If you pair EPYC CPUs with Instinct accelerators, you get a more integrated bill of materials and a stronger sales pitch for hyperscalers who want balanced, tested platforms. The combined EPYC plus Instinct story makes AMD an attractive partner for customers seeking an alternative to an all-NVIDIA stack. Analogy: GPUs are the sprinters, EPYC is the coach making sure they line up at the right time. Coaches matter. The analyst community is constructive but not monolithic. Aggregators show a moderate buy consensus with a healthy share of buys and some holds, a pattern that matches a company with promise and near-term questions. Different services count analysts differently, and firms reissue ratings frequently, but the practical takeaway is, more analysts lean positive than negative, yet plenty of them still keep a wait-and-see posture. That split explains why you'll see bullish price targets and cautious notes in the same news feed. If Wall Street were a classroom, most students raised their hands to say, "I'd invest." But some are still looking at their textbooks asking for more evidence. Do you want forgiveness of sins? The next day John seeth Jesus coming unto him, and saith, Behold the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sin of the world. John 1:29. If we fully obey the Lord, the Creator of heaven and earth, and carefully follow all His commandments, He has promised to set us high above all the nations of the earth. Deuteronomy 28. We shall be blessed when we come in and when we go out. I appeal to you to accept God and let Him be your guide, for He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Deuteronomy 31 verse 8. Want more information? Please check the description section. That's the end for now. If you have watched until the end, drop a comment like this: I stayed until the end. Just comment that I stayed until the end. When I see this comment, I will give you a heart. 3 more favors I request from you. First, like this video, subscribe and then turn on the notifications bell. If you do this, you greatly encourage me to continue bringing to you insightful content. Do not miss out on our future videos full of insight. All I am asking is your subscription. Thanks for joining us today. Your support means so much to us. Do not hesitate to share this video to help someone who may benefit. I recommend that you watch the next video, subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts about today's video. Wish you God's blessings and care. Faith and prayer will do what no power on earth can accomplish. See you in the next video by God's mercy.